Hi, Alicia. How are you? Well, good evening. How are you? Tonight, I'm going to fry chicken. And we're going to start out talking about this chicken. Actually, this chicken came from Costco's, and it's a Kirkland chicken. And it's organic. It's an organic young chicken. And as you can see, this chicken was expensive. It was $12.80. But I'm going to show you how to cut this chicken up in 12 pieces, not 10 pieces, not 8 pieces, 12 pieces, so that it can go far with your family. Okay? So I'm going to start by opening this up. And I'm not using a glove for this because I have to feel. And, you know, everybody does different, but I personally need to feel when I'm doing something like this. So I'm opening this up. And as you can see, I have my big bowl. I have another bag here that I'm putting trash in because we have to be so careful with chicken. Now this organic chicken here has a neck on it. See how they put the neck there? It's just cut a little different. But I'm going to begin by cutting the wings off. Get right down in that bone. It comes right off. I'm gonna cut the leg and the thigh. Right down through there. Come up through by the breast. Bend it over. You heard that snap? Come down through there. That's the leg and the thigh. Cut the other leg and thigh off. Do the same thing. Come up the side by the breast. Bend it over. You hear that snap? Go down through the gristle. Right off. Then to separate the back from the breast, I'm going up. I just take the knife. See how I stuck that through there? Come up through there. Bend it forward. Push it back. See? Come down through there, through the back. And don't be scared of the chicken. It ain't alive. It ain't gonna do nothing to you. I'm gonna break this in half using my hands. I have scissors that I use in the kitchen. I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut this neck off. Now I'm gonna cut the breast. I'm gonna go right down the center. Pull this over. Take my knife. Up through there. Kind of pull that a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Down through there. Cut this breast in half in the pan. Cut this breast in half. In the pan. I have bleach and detergent here handy so that I can kind of keep things sterile. And as I told you guys, I like to clean as I go. But this water has a cap full of bleach in it and Dawn detergent. So I'm gonna put these scissors in here. I'm gonna be using them again, but I just clean as I go. Now, I'm gonna wash the chicken But I'm not going to use hot water. I'm using cold water to wash the chicken. And I'm going to clean this cutting board off. And it'll be ready to finish working. Water's very hot. Now in my water, for the first wash, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of salt. Now tonight, I'm going to be making 2 chickens. I've already prepared 1 chicken, and I have it in the seasoned flour. And the reason I do that, because there are members of my family that some don't eat red meat, some don't eat any meat. So I'm gonna cook the 1 chicken without pork seasoning. You can drop like 3 slices of bacon in your oil and that seasons it. Or I have what's called liquid gold. And liquid gold is when I cook chicken, I save it in containers like this. So in the 1 skillet, I'm going to put this oil here. They don't like bacon, but I love bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'm going to put both of these containers in here.
Yes, please. Now that's going to be some good chicken. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. And that's vegetable oil that I'm adding this to. And I'm going to start this other chicken cooking with. So this is the chicken that I've prepared already. Now, when I fry wings, I leave them open like this. And I also take and put a slit in between here that helps it cook. I didn't do that with this one because I wanted to show you that you can take it and bend it up like this. Some people like the wings like this. So I'm going to do one like this. Drop it in the oil. The oil is, that I tested, 325 degrees. Okay? Now you can also test it by just dropping some flour and then it sizzles up. Here's my second wing that I'm going to leave open. That some people like it cooked like this. Now I'm not basting this with egg or buttermilk. And this chicken gonna be good. It'll be so good somebody might bite their tongue. So for that batch, I put in the thighs, the legs, and the wings. And then I have some breast over here that I'm going to do all together. And I've had them drying. Always have your meat dry. See how that's dry? I had it on paper towel. Here's the backs. And again, this is 12 pieces of chicken. And I'm using a Ziploc bag now. Back in the day, we just used the paper bag. Or you don't have a Ziploc bag, just use a grocery bag. You gotta use what you got. Well, I'm gonna just let this sit here until that's ready to come out. And I'm gonna prepare this for the second batch to dry. Okay, and that's gonna go here. Out of my water. Now this chicken has just been sitting for a while, and as you can see how the water looks? See that water? That's where the salt brought out all the impurities. I'm breaking this back. Yeah, I broke that, and I'm gonna clean all of that out of there. We're not eating that. Pull all of that out of there. And I have a strainer in the sink that the chicken is falling on. Still got a little more prep work to do. Run that out. That's my pan. Always use a big pan to work with. And I've got to use my cutting board again. Washed it off. Okay, so here's the wing. Now, I don't like this on there. So I always cut that off. And one of the wings I'm going to take and slit it for the people that like that straight like that. The other wing, I'm going to cut that off. And this one, I'm going to slit it, but I'm going to leave it, I'm going to fold it, leave it and then fold it. I'm going to put the flour on there. Now here's a leg and a thigh. This is quite a bit of work. Can you see this now? This is an organic chicken, but look at that. You see this film right here? You see that? You don't want to eat that. And the salt helps pull that off. See that? We're not eating that. And you take it off for your family too. So, what I do is cut the leg and the thigh apart from each other. And then I take my knife and pull all that slime off. The reason I won't wear the gloves is because you can feel when that meat feels clean. You can feel it. And I have to be able to feel it to know that it's clean. See that? Look what comes out of there. That's like a slime. And it's usually on this part too. I get all that out of there. Look at that. And there's a piece of fat that goes down the side here. I pull that off. See, I pull that off? Don't need to eat that. Nobody likes fat anywhere or any better than me, but all fat ain't good fat. So the other thing I do with the thigh, to ensure that it's cooked all the way, I take my knife and go down the side here and then come back and pull the skin back so that I'm sure that this is going to cook all the way. Okay, I'm going to do the other one. There we go. And that's one leg. And here's the other thigh. Oh, there's that fat right there. Gotta get that off. Get the slime off. Then I'm going to take my knife and go down the bone so that I can be sure that this gets good and done. You see the bone? Okay. Okay, here we have the breast. The other half of the breast. Here's the back. We're going to break this. I pulled all that out of there. Here's the other part of the back that I've broken those bones. Here's the other breast. And last but not least, here's that little neck. And guess who's going to eat that? Me. I like all the parts of the chicken. So I'm going to rinse this off again. Still not through cleaning yet. Go walk over here and check on this chicken. And I use these little tongs. Just turn it a little bit. It's starting to look pretty. Okay. Going back over here. And I have lemon juice. Normally I use fresh lemons, but I don't have any. So, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of lemon juice for my second part of my cleaning. We want to clean as best as we can. And we're using cold water during this whole process for the meat. I'm just washing it. And then I find the legs. And I take this off. I don't want that. And you know what? If it's too hard to get off, I just take the scissors and cut it. How about that? See how that comes clean like that? Let your tools work for you. That's one. Now remember, this turns out to be 12 pieces of chicken. Where's the leg at? It's here, y'all. Here we go. And I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to just cut it. Okay, I'm going to wash it. And I'm going to rinse one more time. See how pretty and clean that water is now? Now I'm going to get my little platter right here. Paper towel. Sit it here. But first I'm going to stick the chicken on here. See how pretty and clean the meat is? Isn't it? And I'm picking my knife up and just put it up there for the time being because it's pretty careless sometimes. Cutting stuff really bad. I had a few accidents. Okay, so now straight to my tray. Right there. And we're going to dry this. Now don't use salt because the other seasonings have enough salt in it. Use hot water and the bleach water. Wipe this bowl out. And usually with this seasoning the chicken, I don't usually measure, but I'm going to show you how I season it. So the pieces that have like a flip side on them, like the skin side, I put down like this. Because then once I get it on that side, I flip it over. That was like a fillet come off of there. Okay. While I'm doing that, I'm still back into my bleach water again. And just to be safe, I'm going to wash my tray off too. So don't want to take any chances. And I'm going to start with my Lawry seasoning salt. That's why I didn't add any extra salt, because I use this. Now, I know I shouldn't be showing the name of these different companies, but, you know, I'm really not, like I said, I'm not a chef or anything. I'm not working or any of that. So, hey, I'm using Lawry seasoning salt. Nobody's paying me anything, but this is what I use. It's no purpose if I don't show you what I'm using. That's my purpose of doing the videos and cookbook, because I want to show you what I do. Okay, and this is black pepper. This is onion powder. This is garlic powder. Uh-oh. Paprika. And I put a little ginger. Just a little bit of ginger. Because I'm going to add seasoning in the flour. And I'll show you how much I put in here. But for this, I'm just going to massage this in. See how the big bowl lets you, you know, do what you need to do. Like this in a little bag. You can't work with it. So then I get that in, and I take each piece and turn it over on the skin side. With a big bowl, you can see what you're doing. Everybody, you want the food to taste good. Back into my bleach water. And this is what I do at any time I'm dealing with meat. So I'm going to spring. I'm going to be careful this time, y'all. That's paprika, garlic powder. I don't know why garlic just make everything taste good. Onion powder. Black pepper. And the Lawry seasoning salt. And then again, we're just going to kind of work it in there. Now, see how good that seasons? Now, sometimes, if I'm not cooking it right away, I take this chicken and put it in a Ziploc bag and let it sit overnight. And then I take it out and fry it. And the seasoning has a chance to go through it. I'm not doing that tonight. Don't have time for that. So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. I'm going back into my bleach water. Hot water back on. I'm washing my hands. And actually, I'm going to pour this out. Detergent, my bleach, and I'm going to use kind of wash my hands again. Okay. Now that my hands are clean, I'm gonna go back over here to the stove. Check the chicken. Oh boy, look at that. Woo! Look at that. See? I'm going to give that just a few more minutes on the other side. And that's going to be done. I'm going to start this skillet getting hot. There's my pie plates. Here they are. That one going. I want to wipe this grease off the stove. See how hot that water is? And that helps keep things sanitized. Okay. Now for the flour. This is 2 cups of flour. And I'm going to into my flour, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. 2 tablespoons of pepper. 3 tablespoons of Lawry seasoning salt. 1 tablespoon of ginger. 2 tablespoons of onion powder. And 2 tablespoons of paprika. And paprika is really for color. Okay, and we're gonna shake this up a bit. Now some people don't do this, but I use my flour over, until it's gone. I don't like to waste. And I just zip the Ziploc bag up and put it in the refrigerator. So, I'm going to put some pieces in here just to let it sit. I'm putting the legs, the wings, and I'll put the backs in there this time. Hot water again. I'm going to take this back out. I have a pan here. My kids never like their chicken moist unless it's being smothered. So I never put a top on it when I put it in a container like this because they want it crunchy. Now usually I set this down and it's gone. How about that? I turn around like, well, what happened to the chicken? I'm gonna put some more in. So I'm putting 6 pieces in at a time. And this is, for this chicken, it's a total of 12 pieces. So that way, you know, if you got a lot of people to feed, or, you know, there was always a lot of kids at my house. A lot of people. Uh-oh. So I put in 6 at a time. That's 6 there. And this is 6 more. So I'm going to add 6 pieces in this one and 6 at a time to cook. Because if you put too many pieces of chicken in there, it won't cook good and you won't get that crispiness. And just use whatever pan you have. You gotta use what you know you got. And that's just a Dutch up. But watch it fry this chicken up. It's getting hot. And the same flour, I'm gonna dump in this bowl. I ain't wasting nothing. See that? He ain't wasting nothing. Your hands again. Okay. Yeah. Shake this up. Be ready to go. And remember, this batch is going to be with bacon in it. Okay. And I don't need to season anymore. Might as well get it out the way in case I turn it over. I don't even think that's the right lead, but whatever. No. Oh, Lord. Okay. So you don't want to mess with the chicken too much. You see, I didn't mess with it before, but I want to keep this separate. So this platter right here it's gonna have the chicken on it that doesn't have bacon on it. We're in the grease. I'm gonna leave it here so I don't drop that walking back and forth over there. And I'm not gonna interchange this either. I'm gonna do all of this plain chicken first, and then I'll do the chicken with the bacon. So I'm gonna see if this is hot enough. Okay, 325. This over here. We'll do my little taste test here. And I say taste test for tasting with my flour. Okay, and let that get a little hotter. It's bubbling, but I just like for it to be a little hotter. See the bubbles? Only hot. And that's simply in the bottom. That's where the bacon, the good part of the bacon is falling down into the grease. That's what makes it taste good. Now, when you're chicken like this, like I got lids here, but if you put the lid on there, it's gonna steam, and you're not gonna get crispy chicken. So don't put the lid on. If you do, you maybe want to get it hot or something, but you got to take it off, or else you're not gonna end up with crispy chicken. There we go. See that? See how that's frying now? That's 6 pieces of chicken in there. And now I'm going to put the other 6 pieces in the bag with the flour so that I can get some of this stuff out the way. in my dishwasher. Okay. Check this other chicken out. Now I'm not going to interchange this. I use this on the plain chicken, but I'm not going to interchange them with pork. Okay, so I think I can just about sum that up. You see where we're going with this. And we have both. And Alicia, I need you to do a taste test for me.
I surely will.
Okay, you could come over here
I was waiting on this part.
with, how about having some with my little buddy here?
Little bear?
That's with my little bear.
What's his name?
Mackenzie Bear.
Mackenzie Bear? Okay,
Okay.
Mr. Mackenzie Bear, we're gonna have some chicken. Fried chicken.
Okay. And I'm gonna hold.
Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm. What a pretty cup. Look at this cup.
You want a fork or can you just get it?
Nope, I can just get it.
All
It's
right.
fried chicken.
Well, let me hold it for you.
I'm ready. Mm-hmm. And pie.
Oh yeah.
Look how pretty this is. What's this?
Oh, that's
Wow,
a turntable.
wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's beautiful. Put a piece of chicken on there. No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Well, actually, I made that pound cake right
Oh.
here. Yeah, I made
Right
it.
here?
Yeah, I
This-
made that
this
pound
pound
cake.
cake?
And I just
Wow.
want to share something with you guys. I got everything together and didn't have any flour.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I want you to see that don't give up if something happens. You see how that pound cake turned up? And you know what I used? Pancake mix. 2 cups of pancake mix, a cup of that Wonder flour, that was all I had, and 3/4 cup of regular flour. That was all I had left. And
You
it
made it work.
made it work.
You made
So
it
don't
work.
give up.
That's pretty
Use
too.
what you got. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready for this chicken.
All right.
Okay, so which piece should I eat?
Whatever you
I
want.
think I want a wing.
Okay.
Glorious, glorious wing. Look at it. Look how beautiful. Oh my.
Oh, it's crunchy. See?
Mmm. Mmm. Oh,
Don't burn your mouth.
This is some good chicken here. It's so good. Oh. Mmm. Juicy. Crunchy on the outside. Super juicy on the inside.
But what about the seasoning, Alicia?
Beautiful. Always
Okay.
beautiful. Not too saucy.
Okay.
You can taste the chicken. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Okay. So see, using, you know, the other seasonings, you don't need to add more salt.
Good flavor. That garlic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crunchy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
All right.
You make this, you're in the money.
Okay. All right, Alicia, thank you so much
You're welcome.
for videotaping me. And I just want to say thank you to everyone, and I hope you enjoyed this video looking at it. I hope you look at it and tell your friends to look at it.
For sure.
But mainly, I want to say, y'all be blessed. Good night.